Greetings, this is Paul, your Pacific Northwest trail guide. I want to help you pick your next trail to explore, so let's check this one out. Multomah Falls. I love it and I hate it. Being the very accessible location of the tallest waterfall in Oregon makes this a very busy location. Not exactly what most people are looking for in a hike. But take this loop hike and you'll soon be past the crowds and enjoying an overwhelming amount of beauty. You'll travel about 5 miles as you loop around behind Multomah Falls and return soon after a visit to Wahkeena Falls. You'll cover 1,800 feet of elevation gain as you make this loop, but the highest point is at about 1,500 feet of elevation. This hike starts at the Multomah Falls Lodge, which is easily accessed from Interstate 84. Head east out of Portland, Oregon area on I-84 and take the Multomah Falls exit. You park in a large lot and walk under the highway to get to the lodge. Due to the popularity of this location, it may sometimes be required to obtain a timed reservation permit to visit. Check out the Forest Service link in the video description to see if that is required. Otherwise, keep in mind the amenities available at the lodge, and maybe this is one hike you may have less need to prepare for. Another consideration in winter, however, is various parts of the trail can become icy and even closed. So another reason to check Forest Service for status, and possibly bring traction devices. You'll follow the wide area to the left of the lodge up towards the Lower Falls viewing area to find the Larch Mountain Trail and get started ascending. It begins off to the right of that viewing area, just around this sign. You'll climb a bit and soon reach the stone bridge over the top of the Lower Falls. Squeeze your way through the crowd on the bridge and keep climbing up the hill on the other side for better views of the main falls than from that bridge. After that, you'll leave the waterfall behind as you take several switchbacks up the hillside as you make your way to the top of Multomah Falls. Once you begin descending a little bit, you'll know you're getting close to this junction where you can take a spur trail off to the right a short way to look off the top edge of Multomah Falls from a platform. Head down and take a look. It's kinda neat, but more of a finale for just going to the top and back. Return back up this spur and continue to the right on that junction when you come back to it to continue the main loop. When you cross this elegant little stone bridge, you know you're about to approach my personal favorite area on this loop, featuring more of both humans and nature's handiwork as you pass by Dutchman Falls, Dutchman Tunnel, Weisendanger Falls, and Decola Falls. This little stretch feels like an overdose of beauty that almost makes you numb to it. After you pass Ecola Falls, you continue up a wide gorge with its own kind of expansive beauty, and some scars too. You then reach this junction with the Wahkeena Trail where you take a sharp right, leaving the large mountain trail and ending this section of the loop. Earlier in the hike, you see some hints of the burning that happened with the Eagle Creek fire that ravaged the gorge in late 2017. But as you come around this ridge on the Wahkeena Trail, you actually enter a large burned area with a lot of thick brush growth coming in as the area recovers. You'll approach the next junction in this loop, and the highest and halfway point as well, where the Devil's Rest Trail goes off to the left, and down the trail a bit, the Vista Point Trail goes off to the right. You'll just continue straight ahead, as the Wahkeena Trail veers off to the left a bit and starts to descend. You'll also see the Angel's Rest Trail go off to the left in less than a half mile. Just stay to the right on the Wahkeena Trail and prepare for a steep switchbacking descent along the waters cascading down the gorge from Wahkeena Springs. After passing the light spray of Fairy Falls, you continue descending into a more narrow canyon, with footbridges occasionally crossing the descending water. Soon you will start to descend more gradually and approach a spur trail to Lemon's Viewpoint. Head down this little spur if you want to say hi to the Columbia River, or if you're eager for some more steep descent, dive right into these switchbacks you can see down over the hillside. Continue your descent as you approach Wahkeena Falls. The awesome and majestic Wahkeena Falls appears around a corner, and the trail approaches so close you can't take it all in. The mist is a nice refresher on a hot day, but you might want to make sure you have a rain jacket to cross this bridge otherwise. Enjoy this last and most beautiful waterfall, and afterwards continue a short way down to the historic highway. You'll continue through this lower Wahkeena Falls viewing area to pick up the return trail to Multomah Falls Lodge on the other side. The relatively flat trail takes you a half-mile back to the completion of your loop. Multomah Falls may be an extremely busy place these days, but it's still a special one as well that leaves lasting memories. I still remember getting this little wooden box in the gift shop over 25 years ago when my father brought me here once. And as an adult, I've brought many special people in my life here. I hope you get a chance to make some memories here too. Let's go over the ratings for this trail. The terrain varies a bit, being mostly paved but occasionally damaged for the first and last miles, but more rough and rocky terrain in the middle. There's no serious obstacles to deal with, but since the terrain of the trail is so varied and rocky in places, it gets 2 rocks out of 5 for terrain. For the elements, the gorge can be an icy, windy place at times, and this is still fairly exposed in some areas until it fully recovers, so 2 clouds out of 5 for elements. 5 miles gets 3 boots for length, and finally, let's rate the climb. You'll do plenty of climbing on this one. It's pushing the limits for the high end of average climbs, but we'll give it 3 mountains. Well, that's it for this edition of Pacific Northwest Trail Guide. I hope I have or will soon help you pick your next trail to explore. I scouted this trail in August of 2021, but trails are always evolving. If you pick this trail and encounter any new features or changes people might like to know about, please help out your fellow explorers by sharing in the comments on this video. Remember, a picture may be worth 1,000 words, but an experience with all your senses cannot even be conveyed in pictures or video. So don't take my word for it. Get out there and see it for yourself.